Right now, there is a very high chance that your blood pressure is not where it should be. And the most concerning part is that you may not feel anything at all because high blood pressure does not begin with pain and it does not give you a clear warning sign. It builds quietly in the background while you continue your normal daily routine thinking everything is fine. Most people over the age of 50 believe that as long as they feel okay, there is nothing to worry about, but the reality is very different because even slightly elevated blood pressure repeated day after day can slowly begin to affect your heart, your blood vessels, and your overall health in ways that are not immediately visible. Now think about this for a moment. You wake up in the morning, you follow the same habits you have been following for years. You eat what feels normal. You go about your day and nothing seems out of place. But inside your body, your blood vessels may be under constant pressure and your heart may be working harder than it needs to. Over time, that pressure begins to change how your system functions. Your blood vessels can become less flexible, your circulation can become less efficient, and your body has to keep adjusting just to maintain balance. The difficult part about this process is that it happens slowly and silently. There is no clear signal that tells you something is wrong until much later when the effects become harder to ignore. Now here is something very important that most people do not fully understand. Your blood pressure is not just influenced by age or genetics. It is heavily shaped by your daily routine. The small habits you repeat without thinking, the way you start your day, the way you move, the way you manage stress, and even how consistently you take care of your body. And this is where things start to change, because if your daily habits can slowly increase pressure, then the right habit can also begin to reduce it. Now imagine this, instead of your blood pressure gradually rising over time, your body starts to respond in a different way. Your blood vessels begin to relax, your circulation improves, and your heart does not have to work as hard to move blood through your system. This is not about doing something extreme or complicated, it is about giving your body the right signal every single day. Because your body responds to consistency more than anything else. Now here is the part that most people overlook. You do not need hours of exercise, you do not need a complicated routine, and you do not need to completely change your lifestyle overnight. There is one simple habit, something that takes only about 15 minutes that can begin to influence how your body regulates pressure. This habit works by helping your blood vessels relax, improving circulation, and sending a signal to your system that reduces tension over time. And when this signal is repeated daily, your body adapts to it. Now think about the difference that can make over weeks and months. Instead of pressure building inside your system, your body begins to move toward balance. Instead of your heart working harder, it starts working more efficiently. Instead of your blood vessels staying tight, they begin to respond more naturally. Now here is why this becomes even more important after the age of 50. As your body changes, your blood vessels naturally lose some of their flexibility, your system becomes more sensitive to stress, and your ability to regulate blood pressure is not as strong as it used to be. Which means the same routine that worked for you years ago may not be enough anymore. Your body now needs a more intentional approach. Now imagine continuing your current habits without making any adjustments. The same patterns repeated every day. Over time, your blood pressure may continue to rise slowly without you realizing it until it becomes something that requires constant management. But now imagine taking control early, understanding what your body needs and giving it that support in a simple, consistent way. That is where this 15-minute habit becomes so powerful, because it is not about doing more, it is about doing something that actually works. In this video, you are going to learn exactly what this habit is, how it works inside your body, and why it has such a strong impact on blood pressure, especially for people over 50. You will understand how it improves circulation, how it helps your blood vessels respond better, and how it creates a positive effect that builds over time. And most importantly, you will see how easy it is to include this in your daily routine without making your life complicated. Now, before we go further, take a moment and think about your current routine. How do you usually start your day? How much time do you actually give to your health? And how often do you do something intentionally to support your blood pressure? Because the answers to these questions are directly connected to how your body is functioning right now. The good news is you do not need to change everything at once. You just need to start with one simple step. One habit that your body can respond to, and once you begin that process, everything else becomes easier. So stay with me, because what you are about to learn is not just another tip. It is a simple daily action that can help you take control of your blood pressure and move your health in a better direction over time. Now let us begin with something very important, because once you understand how blood pressure actually works inside your body, everything else becomes much easier to control. Most people think blood pressure is just a number, something you check occasionally, and if it is not extremely high, then it is not a serious concern. But the reality is very different, because blood pressure is not something that turns on and off. It is a constant force moving through your blood vessels every second of the day. And that force directly affects how your entire system functions. Your heart pushes blood through a network of vessels that carry oxygen and nutrients to every part of your body, and those vessels are designed to expand and contract smoothly to maintain balance. But when pressure stays elevated over time, even slightly, it begins to change how those vessels behave. They start to lose flexibility, they become less responsive, and your circulation becomes less efficient. Now imagine this happening not for a few days, but for months and even years. Your body continues to adapt, your system continues to compensate, and everything seems normal from the outside, but internally, your heart is working harder and your blood vessels are under constant strain. This is how long-term pressure begins to build. Now here is something that most people overlook. Your body is not designed to stay in a state of tension all the time. It needs moments of relaxation. It needs signals that allow your system to slow down and restore balance. But if your daily routine does not include anything that supports that process, your body stays in a more active and pressured state for longer periods. Now think about your day. From the moment you wake up, your system starts responding to everything you do. Your movement, your breathing, your stress levels, your posture, even how quickly you move from one activity to another. All of these factors influence your blood pressure in real time. Now imagine going through your entire day without giving your body any intentional signal to relax. No moment where your breathing slows down. No moment where your circulation is supported in a balanced way. No moment where your system shifts out of that constant active state. Over time, that becomes your pattern, and your body adapts to that pattern. Now here is where the important shift begins. Because once you understand that your blood pressure is influenced by your daily signals, you start to realize something powerful. You can change those signals, and that is exactly where this simple daily habit comes in. This is not about forcing your body to change, it is about guiding it, giving it the right input so it can respond naturally. Now imagine taking just 15 minutes out of your day and using that time in a way that directly supports your circulation, a time where your breathing becomes more controlled, your body begins to relax, your blood vessels respond differently, and your system shifts from a state of tension to a state of balance. This is where real change starts, because your body is always listening to what you do. It responds to repetition, it responds to consistency, and it adapts to the patterns you create. Now think about the difference between random effort and consistent habit. Trying something once may not change much, but repeating a simple, effective action every day creates a lasting impact. Your body begins to expect it. It begins to adjust. And over time, your system starts to function in a more efficient way. Now here is something even more important. This habit does not work by forcing immediate results. It works by gradually improving how your body handles pressure. It supports your blood vessels, it improves circulation, and it reduces the overall strain on your system. And when that strain is reduced consistently, your blood pressure begins to stabilize. Now imagine applying this every day, not as something complicated, but as a simple part of your routine. Something that fits naturally into your schedule. Something that does not require extra effort, but creates a meaningful shift over time. This is the difference between temporary change and long-term improvement. Now take a moment and think about your current routine again. Where could you create that 15-minute space? When during your day could you give your body that signal to slow down and reset? Because that is all your body needs, a clear, consistent signal. And once you start giving it that signal, your system begins to respond. In the next part, we are going to break this down even further. You will see exactly what this habit looks like, how to do it correctly, and how to make sure it becomes part of your daily routine without feeling like extra work. Because once you understand how to apply it, everything becomes simple, and that is where real results begin. Now let us move into the practical part, because understanding that your blood pressure is influenced by your daily routine is important, but knowing exactly what to do is what actually creates change. This 15-minute habit is not complicated. It is not intense, and it does not require any special equipment. It is simply a structured way of using your body to send the right signal to your system. And that signal is relaxation, balance, and improved circulation. Now imagine this. You take 15 minutes out of your day, preferably at a consistent time, and during those 15 minutes, your only focus is to slow your body down in a controlled way. The first part of this habit is your breathing. Most people go through their entire day breathing in a fast, shallow pattern, especially when they are stressed or moving quickly from one task to another. That kind of breathing keeps your body in a slightly active state and can contribute to increased pressure over time. Now imagine slowing that down, taking deeper controlled breaths where you inhale slowly through your nose and allow your body to fully expand and then exhale gently through your mouth. As your breathing slows, your nervous system begins to shift, your body moves out of that constant active mode and starts entering a more relaxed state. This alone begins to reduce internal tension. Now let us add the second part, gentle movement. This is not about intense exercise. It is about smooth, steady motion that supports circulation. It could be a slow walk, it could be light stretching, or simple movements that keep your body active without creating strain. As you move gently, your blood flow improves your muscles, supports circulation, and your blood vessels begin to respond more naturally. This combination of controlled breathing and gentle movement creates a powerful effect. Your system receives a clear signal to relax, your circulation becomes more efficient, and the overall pressure inside your body begins to reduce. Now here is the third part, which most people overlook. Consistency. Doing this once may feel good, but doing it every day creates change. Because your body responds to repetition, it learns from patterns, and it adapts to what you do regularly. Now imagine doing this 15-minute habit every day at the same time. Your body begins to expect it. Your system starts adjusting in advance. And over time, your baseline state begins to shift. Now here is something very important. You do not need to do this perfectly. You do not need to create a strict routine that feels difficult to maintain. What matters is showing up consistently and allowing your body to experience that state of relaxation and balance every day. Now let us make this even simpler. Think of this habit as a reset, a short period where your body moves away from stress and pressure and moves toward calm and balance. It is not about pushing harder, it is about allowing your system to recover. Now imagine how this fits into your day. You could do it in the morning to set the tone for the rest of your day. You could do it in the afternoon when your energy drops and your body needs a reset. Or you could do it in the evening to help your system wind down and release the tension built throughout the day. The timing can be flexible, but the consistency is what creates results. Now here is the key idea from this part. Your blood pressure is not fixed, it responds to what you do. And when you give your body the right input through controlled breathing, gentle movement, and daily consistency, your system begins to shift in a positive direction. Now take a moment and ask yourself, can you find 15 minutes in your day? Because if you can, you already have everything you need to start making a change. In the next part, we are going to bring everything together and show you how these small adjustments build into long-term results. Because once you stay consistent, the impact becomes stronger, and that is where real improvement begins. Now let us bring everything together in a way that is simple, clear, and easy to follow. Because by now you have seen something very important. Your blood pressure is not just a number, it is a reflection of how your body is responding to your daily routine. Every habit, every choice, every pattern you repeat throughout the day is sending a signal to your system, and your body is constantly adjusting to those signals. When those signals create stress, your body adapts to stress. When those signals create balance, your body adapts to balance. And this is where the real difference begins. Most people spend years reacting to their health instead of understanding it. They wait for symptoms, they wait for warnings, they wait until something feels wrong. But by the time something feels wrong, your body has already been working hard behind the scenes to manage the problem. Now imagine a different approach. Imagine paying attention before the problem becomes serious. Imagine understanding what your body needs and giving it that support consistently. Because that is what creates long-term change. Now think about the simple habit we discussed. 15 minutes of controlled breathing and gentle movement. It may seem small, it may seem simple, but its impact is not small. Because during those 15 minutes, your body is shifting away from tension and moving toward balance. Your nervous system begins to calm, your blood vessels begin to relax, your circulation becomes more efficient, and your heart does not have to work as hard. Now imagine repeating that every day. Not once in a while, not only when you feel stressed, but consistently as part of your routine. Over time, your body begins to expect that moment of balance. It begins to prepare for it. And slowly your baseline state begins to change. This is where improvement happens. Not through sudden dramatic actions, but through consistent signals that your body can respond to. Now here is something very important to understand. Your body is always adapting. If you live in a state of constant pressure, your body adapts to pressure. If you give your body moments of recovery, your body adapts to recovery. And over time, those adaptations define your health. Now think about your current routine. How much of your day is spent in a state of activity? How often do you give your body a chance to slow down? How often do you intentionally create a moment where your system can reset? Because without those moments, your body stays in a cycle of tension. And that cycle continues to affect your blood pressure. Now imagine breaking that cycle. Not by doing something extreme, but by adding one simple, consistent habit. A habit that fits into your day. A habit that does not require special equipment. A habit that you can maintain without stress. Because sustainability is what matters. If something is too complicated, you will not continue it. If something fits naturally into your routine, you will repeat it. And repetition is what creates results. Now here is the difference between short-term effort and long-term change. Short-term effort feels intense, but it does not last. Long-term change feels simple, but it builds over time. And this is why this 15-minute habit is so effective. It is simple enough to repeat, it is gentle enough to maintain, and it is powerful enough to create a shift inside your body. Now imagine where you could be after a few weeks of consistency. Your breathing becomes more controlled. Your body responds faster to relaxation. Your circulation improves. Your blood pressure begins to stabilize. And your overall energy feels more balanced. Now imagine a few months of consistency. Those small improvements begin to add up. Your system becomes more efficient. Your body handles stress better. And your baseline state becomes more stable. This is how real progress happens. Not overnight, but steadily over time. Now here is something most people miss. They try something once or twice, and when they do not see immediate results, they stop. But your body does not work that way. It responds to patterns, not one-time actions. It responds to consistency, not occasional effort. So the question is not whether this works. The question is whether you are willing to stay consistent long enough to see the results. Now take a moment and think about your future. Think about where your current habits are leading you. Because your daily routine is not just affecting today, it is shaping what happens months and years from now. If your habits continue without change, your body will continue to adapt in the same direction. But if you begin to make small adjustments today, your future begins to shift. Now imagine choosing a different direction. A direction where you are not just reacting to your health, but actively supporting it. Where you understand your body and work with it instead of against it. Because once you reach that point, everything becomes easier. You no longer feel confused. You no longer feel uncertain. You know exactly what you need to do. Now here is the most important takeaway from this entire video. You do not need to change everything at once. You do not need a perfect plan. You do not need extreme effort. All you need is one simple, consistent action that your body can respond to. And this 15-minute habit is that starting point. Now before we finish, take a moment and ask yourself one simple question. When will you start? Not someday, not when you feel like it, but when will you actually begin? Because the sooner you start, the sooner your body begins to respond. And the longer you wait, the longer your body stays in the same pattern. Now imagine starting today, just 15 minutes. No pressure, no complexity, just a simple action. And then repeating it tomorrow, and the day after. And allowing that consistency to build over time, because that is how change happens. Step by step. Day by day. Now, if this helped you understand your body in a better way, take a moment to share it with someone who might need it. Because many people are going through their daily routine without realizing what is happening inside their body. And sometimes a small piece of awareness at the right time can make a big difference. And if you want to keep learning simple, practical ways to support your health, make sure you stay connected. Because the more you understand your body, the easier it becomes to take control of it. Your heart is working for you every second of every day. Now it is your turn to support it in the right way.